I guess you could call it your internal compass, would almost nudge me, be like, hello, like you are totally not on track right now. And that's almost like, it's not even that I was playing a different game. It's more that I was not attuned to the actual game that I was meant to play. So it was almost like going back to that conversation about like, are we, allowing a life that is already written in some way, or are we actually choosing it for ourselves? Actually, for me, a lot of my inner peace actually came from the fact that I went into this place of surrender more. So, when I was like, maybe younger or in that phase of university and young adulthood, early 20s, whatnot, I was like, it was a sense of control. This is where the ego, if we're going to talk about, life after an ego death, at some point I was like, doing this, doing that, trying to make things happen. I'm doing this. I'm so like I'm smart. I'm this. I can do this. I'm capable. Whatever. But there's a missing piece. It's the inner soul alignment. So I can do anything I want, right? But it doesn't matter if that's not my North Star, that inner pull. So what happened then is that there was constant inner nudge, right? Whether that voice or that warmer or cooler feeling that began, when it already was telling me, hey, university is not right for you. Now, I'm not saying that this is, no two people have the exact same path in life. No two people have the exact same North Star. So I wouldn't say like, objectively like, oh, university is bad or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that for some people, that's exactly what they're meant to do. For me, if I'm listening to my own North Star, or if I knew how to at the time, I would have been able to listen to those nudges, those signs. I mean, I did listen. I heard, obviously, I was quite intuitive, but what do I do with it? How do I translate that into actual, action or trust in something beyond the logical or external world or voices that you get from other people? Because, that's the thing. Each person doesn't know what's right or wrong for another person. And this is the thing. It's like the North Star is the game that I didn't choose. In many ways, I don't feel like I chose that game. And actually, that's actually the exact quality that gives me the inner peace, because it connects you to something bigger than yourself. It doesn't feel like I'm making everything happen. As you speak of your travels, it sounds like you don't have to make everything happen. And that's where the ease comes from. That's where the surrender, that's where the alignment is, right? That's where the magical otherworldly, like transcending the ordinary happens, because that's the fun of it. That's actually what makes it fun. It's not like I booked a trip and then I went here, I went there. You know what I mean? That would be actually sounds very tedious. It sounds like hard work. That's not what, what I mean? Like the kind of travel that you describe that, is very reminiscent of, the principle and the quality of let the story write itself, that philosophy. You're allowing it to happen. You're allowing it to emerge through source, through, a higher guide, your North Star. And when you're so attuned to it, it becomes a part of your flow. So for me, that's the distinction. It's like I'm not authoring anything in many ways. I'm allowing it to happen. And that's where my inner peace comes from. That's where that surrender, that's where that ease comes from. It's like, it feels like a gift. It feels like it's like sometimes like, how did it happen? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it happened. You know what I mean? That's where I start laughing about it, because I'm like, I really don't know. It's not like I just booked this and I went there and went this. It's like, okay, sure, elements of taking action in the physical realm, but that's not where it originated, right? So I think that's what this conversation is mostly about. It's more about attuning to like a higher order of things, the North Star. And this is the game that whether people realize that they have a North Star and that's pulling them, that's speaking to them at all times, that's the crux of it. Because for a long time, was, I was not in alignment with that. And that's where it gave me that mild depression or that death of the ego at some point, where I had to let go of that control